spagnoli sono qui alla sua sinistra. Forse la citazione non è corretta, però ricordo quando è morto Stanley Kubrick si diceva che il film non fosse, che Eyes Wide Shut non fosse completo, che mancasse solo il messaggio, e credo di citare correttamente, lei disse: ma dire che un film sia completo e manca solo il messaggio vuol dire sottovalutare l'opera di per sé. Vorrei chiedere quindi appunto qual è per lei il corretto utilizzo della musica, ma non solo della musica, anche delle atmosfere attraverso il suono, che nei suoi film ha sempre avuto un ruolo molto importante, e quindi il lavoro di post-produzione anche dal punto di vista dell'atmosfera quanto conta, non solo quello che si vede ma anche quello che si sente. Grazie.
Yes, I think I remember meeting Bernardo Bertolucci in Montreal many years ago, and he was talking then about the experience he had doing his movie Conformista, and he said that up until that movie he had thought that just shooting the movie was everything, and then you just stick it together and it's finished. And that he met an editor that he was working with then who showed him how much creativity can happen in post-production after you've actually shot the film. And he restructured his original idea of what the film was and so on. And to me, I was surprised that it took him that long to understand that, you know, because it was obvious to me that you can do so much with the film in what they call post-production, but it's really a huge amount of the creativity goes into a film when you're editing it, when you're color timing it, you change the look of the film, especially now with digital intermediates and so on. You can change individual parts of each frame, you know, you can change the color, you can relight the whole movie. So now, even more than in the past, post-production is really still production. And of course, sound, really to me, is what gives the film three dimensions. It gives space, it gives you a feeling of space. Otherwise, you're seeing two dimensions, it's very flat. And it's the feeling of space, the sound of a room, it actually gives three-dimensionality to a film. So even something as simple as that is very important. The first film I made, the first long film I made, was called Stereo. And it had no soundtrack at all, except every once in a while a voiceover, someone speaking. And it was incredibly disturbing to people to watch that movie because of no soundtrack. It made you feel like you were deaf, and it made the movie become two-dimensional. And it was very strange because you never see a commercial movie with no sound. I mean, there are never moments when there is absolutely zero sound. And if you hear it, it's very disturbing. So it lets you know how important the sound of a movie is, even before you start talking about music. It gives you the depth, the feeling of three-dimensionality, of solidity. You know, the weight of a person is delivered by the sound of their footsteps in film and what they're walking on, the substance of it. Are they walking on marble? Are they walking on wood? Are they walking on gravel? All of those sounds are different, and they give you a feeling of weight and solidity and three-dimensionality. So that's why I was saying if Kubrick was not involved, even if he had edited the visuals exactly the way he wanted them, if he was not involved in the sound and the music of the film, then it's really an incomplete film. I mean, somebody finished it for him, but it's not what... There's so many decisions you make at that point that are very crucial. In fact, often there are more fights, more arguments in the sound mix than there are on the film set. And people don't realize that because it's a kind of hidden thing that happens. Visually, it's not very interesting. You see a bunch of people sitting in the dark behind a big console with a lot of sliders and machines. It's not very interesting to look at, so you don't see documentaries about the sound mix. But in fact, you can destroy a movie, absolutely destroy a movie in the sound mix, because you're also replacing the dialogue. You can change the dialogue in the sound mix. You can change the performance because of the post. You work with the actors after the film has been shot. You can redo all the dialogue, and you can direct it again and make it quite different. You can change the balance of the characters. It's quite extraordinary what you can do there. So that's why I was saying that if Kubrick really was not involved in the sound mix of his film, then it really is not his film. No. What it would have been, nobody knows.
Giovanni Lazzaro, Film TV. La domanda che volevo fare a David Cronenberg è semplice. Per anni, soprattutto a partire dagli esordi fin giù verso La Mosca, era stato accomunato ai registi della nuova ondata americana di cinema horror della fine degli anni 70, primi 80, quindi la visualizzazione estrema, le mutazioni del corpo, così. Poi è subentrata apparentemente una mutazione, la fascinazione è sempre crescente, che in realtà io credo essere presente da subito nel cinema di Cronenberg, nei confronti dell'invisibile. Man mano il suo cinema si è andato come rarefacendo, gli effetti speciali hanno perso la centralità e il suo cinema è diventato ancora più mentale che in precedenza. Quindi volevo chiedere, cinematograficamente, questa problematica come se l'è posta eventualmente e come oggi continua a lavorare sulle derive invisibili del reale, soprattutto alla luce di un film come Eastern Promises e suppongo anche M. Butterfly, che è stata la prima grande epifania di questa manifestazione del pensiero di Cronenberg.
Well, I could say I've never managed to photograph the invisible. So, in fact, that's really, when you say invisible, I assume that you mean really things like abstract and conceptual and so on, as opposed to merely things that are not visible. Is it? I think you have your hand up. Is there? Did I say something wrong? I don't really worry about that. I mean, obviously, with film, you have to find of course, you can deliver things in dialogue which suggest abstractions and concepts which are not filmable, but the potency of film still mostly rests with the visual, and therefore you have to find metaphors, you have to find visual equivalences to abstract concepts and so on, and there are many ways to do that. You can do that with body language. I mean, most of what you are shooting when you're shooting film is bodies. You're shooting the human body. That is the main thing that you photograph is the human body. So I begin with that, and that is a very physical, that is the physical essence of who we are. But I must say, I've never really thought about attacked it in the way that you're thinking about it. I mean, that's an approach that is valid, I think, critically to look at, but for me, for the act of filmmaking, I don't really think of it in those terms.